This is Chelsea McNally, and this is a description of my mind map for Chapter 1. The author states that despite these trying times, practitioner research is thriving in school districts across the United States and world throughout urban, suburban, and school districts. So as you see here, we have the urban, rural, and suburban school districts here. And here's my practitioner research in trying times. The magnifying glass on the world. So we're researching all different types of educational research in the world. The inquiry-based research develops from everyday classroom practices, which are derived from classroom practices such as instruction, daily procedures, and learning phenomena. Basically, what teachers observe from their students in their classroom on a daily basis. Research practices are also developed from professional development, as well as collegial relationships and collaboration amongst colleagues. Professional learning communities share thoughts, ideas, suggestions, problems, and concerns about their students. Such research questions are developed. So over here, we also have from these school districts here, from urban, rural, and suburban school districts, we have classrooms, which are equivalent to students in those classrooms. So the two arrows are going here together. And then we have professional development, which also our PLCs come from those as well, which create the professional developments, and collaboration. So we have here our PLCs, and then we have collaboration, two teachers thinking together. And then, however, we do have issues in education, which has caused some problems in research as well. So there are, however, issues in education that can cause dilemmas in practitioner research, such as the economy, since our education system is dependent on the funds we receive from both our federal, state, and local governments. As educators, we are also under a strict obligation to produce students who can compete in a global marketplace and meet the demands of the current and future job markets. There is also a strong emphasis on accountability now due to high-stakes tests, which requires students to meet specific benchmarks, adequate yearly progress, and improvement goals. Teachers are also now required to meet specific goals to help their students to achieve these aforementioned examples as well. Most schools are now meeting the demands of data-driven instruction to help their students as well as their teachers achieve more. Finally, research-based practices that involve scientific research that provide universal practices to a very diverse and changing education system is being utilized in districts, which is not really a feasible tactic since students have a variety of learning styles, intelligences, cultures, discourses, etc. So here we have, stemming off, we have issues in education, which are the economy, accountability, and evidence as well, the scientific evidence here. So we have our economy here, our global economy, our accountability, which are those high-stakes tests, and then evidence, which is data-driven instruction, the scientific research, all those things down here. There are, however, 5 major themes outlined. Move my mind map over this way. There are 5 major themes outlined in the chapter for teacher inquiry and practitioner research. Number 1 is equity, engagement, and agency, which provides students the opportunity to investigate and learn topics that correlate to their community, culture, and society. This area also focuses on social justice and assists students in learning about and helping their own communities. So we have that up here. There's a world here, and then students circling the world. So they're learning about the world around them, social justice, their own communities, and their own personal lives, and what's going on around them and their own personal community. Number 2, over here, we have a brain and everything going on in this brain over here, learning and development. Number 2 is developing conceptual frameworks, which are the collaboration of teachers and the diversity of the students in their classrooms and how they learn. In this context, the heart of the research is the everyday experiences of the students and the teachers in the classroom. So basically everything that you see every day when you're working with your students, what they're learning, what you're doing, your classroom procedures, everything that goes on every day on a daily basis, the everyday occurrences that happen, and what can be done to improve them to provide our children with a better education. Number 3, over here, we have a little Sherlock Holmes hat, a magnifying glass, footprints over here, is inventing and reinventing communities of inquiry, which is allowing students and teachers to collaborate to utilize data to drive instruction and build curricula that relates to student lives and achievement. Teachers also have the opportunity to collaborate with other teachers from around the country and the world via the internet to share ideas and suggestions to improve student outcomes. So they're basically investigating other teachers' ideas and suggestions from all over the country, all over the world, from different communities. You can take suggestions from, if you're an urban school district teacher, you can take suggestions from a suburban school district teacher or a rural school district teacher and use those ideas to help your own personal students. Down here we have number 4, we have a pie chart. This is where data comes in here. Number 4 is shaping school reform and educational policy, which is basically creating alternate ways that teachers instruct and students can learn based off the outcomes of research-based inquiries and practices. Districts are now studying their own schools to see what they need as an individual district based off their own research practices and inquiries. Professional development is then created or research based off those results. So it's no longer a universal theme that every school is going to need this specific technique, or if you have a school district that has, for example, 3 high schools, each high school is maybe not going to need the same type of professional development. Maybe one high school needs specifically professional development in science. One high school is going to need professional development in classroom procedures or literature, for example, or one's going to need one in history or whatever it might be. They're specifying specifically what each high school is going to need, or going even deeper, and they're saying that teachers are no longer going to have to sit through a professional development that's not going to help them specifically. Science teachers aren't going to have to sit through professional development that's meant for social studies teachers. Or literature teachers aren't going to have to sit through a professional development that's geared towards math teachers, for example. They're going to have specific professional developments that are research-based that's going to help them specifically help their craft, their discipline. And then finally, number 5, which is down here, this is a college, a university, over here at the bottom. Number 5 is reforming research and practice in universities, which is a way to provide school districts with valuable feedback from research besides just providing pre-service teacher education programs and professional development. Many universities were hesitant at first to allow research, but now many universities such as Teach for America, as well as many grad school programs, encourage teacher inquiry and research, as well as local universities working with school districts to provide research opportunities for teachers to allow them to improve their educational practices to help their students as well. So here's my mind map. It's a little small, so I will also upload it along with my video. Thank you.